Welcome everyone to the Doc and Jacques Live Radio Show. You have now entered the cosmic radio receptors of KCIW LP 100.7 FM in Brookings, Oregon. Thank you for tuning into this week's fun and informative program. I'm Dr. GiGi, and my co-host is, as always, Jacques Kepner. How are you, Jacques?
Greetings, Dr. GiGi, and to today's guest, and to KCIW sound engineer, Tom Bozak, who's swinging alone. We're missing Ray Simon this week, but Tom Bozak, we are in good hands. Thank you for doing your work. It's a sunny coastal day here, and we welcome you and our ever-growing family of listeners to the Doc and Jacques live radio variety show. It's heard here, as Doc just said, at KFUG 101. I'm on KFUG.
Oh my gosh, we are now being broadcast on KFUG.
You know what? We are being broadcast on KFUG,
and that is on 101.
I'm sorry, folks, but I am retiring from KFUG, the Jacques Talks, and it's been a big day for me on that. But hey, you are being heard here on KCIW. FM, and Tom was saying we don't need to say the LP anymore, but it's just FM and 101.1 FM here in Brookings, Oregon. We appreciate all of you. Whew, I got all that out. All right, Doc, what show number is this?
This is number 65.
Is it 65?
It's 65.
Wow, we've done 65 episodes of the show. We are steadily growing and expanding as we speak in so many different ways. Just for all you to know, our new email is docandjacques@gmail.com, and that's Doc, A-N-D, and J-A-C-Q-U-E-S. The S is silent. Jacques and Doc, docandjacques.com. Pardon me, Doc and Jacques.
Oh my gosh.
Gmail. I'm reading this, some of it. You can hear it. Hear it crinkling here. All right, so there you go. You could email us now by getting that. And then we do have the docandjacques.com. It's under construction as we speak. Whew. Okay, Doc. What national day is it?
Okay, well, get this. Today is Set a Good Example Day.
Well, I can't do that.
Well, I know. So there's also the National Fairy Tale Day. You can do that.
Hey, now I kind of like the fairy tale thing, and that goes right with our guest, because our guest he can tell some big fish tales.
Yeah.
Right?
Almost the same
and that's
as fairy tale.
T-A-L-E-S, but he also catches the T-A-I-L-S.
Yes.
Right, with fishing.
All right.
All right, and National Fairy Tale Day. Okay, we finished up with all the different weeks. Okay, my brilliant, highly educated, DNA patent-holding research scientist, professor, multilingual German physician, and most lovely ladies, Dr. Gudrun Reed. What is on the medical menu today with your segment of MDGG?
MD10, I call it. Well, so today we're talking with a water-associated guest today. And I thought maybe the subject of water therapy would be appropriate.
Hey, listen to this. Look what I got in my mouth.
Water. Okay, good.
Water. That was water.
So that's not the water therapy I'm talking about.
Oh.
I'm talking about the aquatic therapy or hydrotherapy, which is commonly used to help with arthritis, which is joint pain, back pain, which is back pain, fibromyalgia, which is muscle pain, multiple sclerosis, stroke recovery, Parkinson's disease, post-surgical rehabilitation, orthopedic injuries, balance disorders, spinal cord injuries, cerebral palsy, and other conditions causing a limited mobility of your body.
Now, are these silver tanks you see in some doctor's offices?
I have no idea what color they are, but the benefit of the water is, this is why it works. The water gives you buoyancy, meaning you're not on ground and the gravity doesn't pull you down. But you still have to work against the water, which gives you strength. So you're relieved of the joints having to work against gravity, and you still work the muscles to gain strength.
Can you do this at home in your own bathtub?
You can, yes. Are types of water therapy actually include taking a hot bath at home. Ta-da! So that's one. Or you can go to a special pool to do the exercises, like the deep water exercises, whirlpool therapy, cold or hot water immersion, etc.
Kind of sewer pools, though. That's the thing about going to public pools and stuff, right?
Well, I'm not talking public pools, although, I know in Crescent City they do go to the public.
Well,
they chlorinated
Yeah, but now saltwater's gone the big way now. That's the new trend.
Yeah.
So salt is in itself, it's cleansing, right? I mean, it cleanses.
Yeah, because it gets rid of all the bacteria and such.
pH is on what, salt? High or low?
It's high. It's basic.
Alkaline.
Alkaline,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. Just testing.
Okay, thanks. Now, hydrotherapy is an alternative or naturopathic, a non-pharmaceutical treatment, which means it's not regulated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration or the FDA, which is interesting, right?
Right. It's not.
It is not, because it's a alternative treatment.
So,
And it is not curative. It is helping you with the symptoms. It doesn't cure anything.
And
that's also important to know.
It does not cure anything. It just helps.
It just helps you with the symptoms. Now, I talked to you, Jacques, about my plan of talking about water therapy, and you said...
What about the pods?
Yeah, you said water pod, and I said water pod.
Flotation pods.
Yeah, and so then you said you have been in a water pod.
Been in multiple times, and my friend... shout out to Julie, who may be out there. We call her Judy Floater. This is the Floater. She's done 3,000. It's where you go into these egg-shaped pods.
Silver-colored?
They can be. And it's an isolation chamber where it's super, super buoyant water, hot, warm, body temperature water that is super salty. So you float in this tank, and they close it down, and you go in there for 1 hour.
Magnesium sulfate, yeah.
And it's pretty bizarre. You go into the outer world of your own inner self.
Yeah.
I got to say, it's like a trip. You're just like, whoa, what's going on here? And
so those are called sensory deprivation
tank
therapy.
Okay.
Yeah. And so they may support relaxation, may improve sleep, may decrease stress, anxiety, pain. It may have other health benefits. The sensory deprivation tank is also called an isolation tank, flotation tank. You called it the water pod.
The pods.
The pod.
I think there used to be some here in Brookings.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, there was a place that had multiple pods, and it was a salon or something, and it closed up. So they don't have any more.
Yeah, so for me, it sounds a little strange because it is a dark sound.
You don't have to have it. In fact, the last time I went in one, there was multiple lighting.
Yeah,
you could adjust the lighting, and you could either wear glasses, these the goggles that cover out, make it totally black, or you could put music now. They have some that are equipped with music.
Well, the first sensory deprivation tank was designed not till 1954.
Yes.
So it's really not that old.
History, right.
And then they were thinking you can get deeper in your consciousness. You might have psychedelic visions or whatever.
I could see it. I could see something like that happening. It really was a unique experience. Multiple times.
Yeah. They say sometimes you have hallucinations, but they also say maybe it's a psychosis-like experience, which is really the opposite of relaxation.
I know they were putting a lot of soldiers that were coming out of the Gulf War that had suffered PST. What is it?
PTSD.
Right.
Post-traumatic stress.
Stress syndrome. And it helped them a lot. But then it's also on the fringe because people, it's like acupuncture. It's just like, what do they call it? Reiki, where you...
Yeah, Reiki. Acupuncture has been approved by the FDA and shown that it helps with lower back pain.
Yeah. I agree. It just was it's a different thing, and you gotta get semi-naked. I mean, you can
they say I researched a little bit. They say you go totally naked.
It's best when you go totally naked.
Very buoyancy, and some people say it's a spiritual experience because you do have to really meditate pretty much because there's nothing else to do.
I thought of you nonstop the entire time.
You what?
I thought of you for 1 hour. Never thought of anything else. Seriously. Just you.
Okay.
Just had vision of your cherub face. They're so sweet.
Yeah. Well, okay.
For 1 hour at a time. Would you like to try one, seriously?
I don't know. It seems really scary to me. If there's
$2,000. Seriously, used are about $2,000. You could look into it. I think new they're like $5,000, and it's an experience. And what did you say? It's just not salt; it's sodium.
It's magnesium sulfate, which is another salt.
See,
we still call it a salt.
Doctors know these things, yeah. Okay, well, that kind of goes hand in hand with our guest today. We have a fascinating guest that I got to say that GiGi and I were just driving a month ago, and we said, how many? Okay, here. Let me refer to my notes. Put my papers down here. How many people have I met here, and how many people do I know here in this area, in Brookings and Crescent City, and our lovely coastal area, who came here or are here because of one word? You know what that word is? You do. Fishing. I know so many people that said, well, I used to come up here. First off, I'm coming to live in Sacramento there all my life. Used to come up here and we'd fish. And, that was so much fun. And then I got the wife and I decided we were tired. And we came up here and now I just get to fish all the time I want. The answer to that question is lots of folks that I know and have met are into this area because of the bountiful fish-rich sea right at our doorstep here in the Brookings Harbor, Crescent City, and Eureka coastlines. The extent to which the doctor and I experience fishing is the occasional chilly forays out to the B Street fishing pier in Crescent City to drop a metal cage into the frigid waters below and wait for it to miraculously fill up full of large, succulent, Dungeness crabs.
Yeah, we found one time we caught 3 crabs. They were each smaller than like
our fingernail. But they were
dime.
perfect crabs. They were perfect crabs. They were just the size of your fingernail.
Yeah, they were tiny. So we tossed them back in, obviously.
Well, yes. We harvested them. But alas, we seemed only to, every time we've gone out, we only harvest those darn invasive sea slugs or sea snails that populate the rocky seafloor beneath that wooden pier bridge. We are not fishing titans. So it came up to us like a bolt of lightning last month when we both thought how unique, informative, and interesting it would be to have a fisherman or fishing folk, come onto our show to discuss fishing.
Right.
So we reached out to one of our area's most respected and premier sport fishing charter companies, and voila, guess what? They accommodated us by coming into the studio today, or one of them, to talk about fishing. And so, without further waiting for the bobber to be tugged under, Dr. GiGi and I are excited to host and welcome Danny. Oh, Danny, I got to look up your last name again.
Gardner.
Yes, Danny Gardner from Tidewind Sportfishing Company, located right here on the Brookings Harbor Boardwalk. Welcome, Danny.
Hello.
Peace and love. All right.
Welcome.
That was a long time coming. I'm sorry. I got a little bit, and I've just been calling you Danny so much. I apologize for not remembering your last name,
fine.
Gardner.
Yeah.
That's an easy name to remember.
Yeah.
So are you a fish gardener?
I am. I do harvest fish. Yes.
Yeah,
So
there
I
you go.
suppose I
I
could
guess
be somewhat of a fish gardener.
There you go. Danny.
Which is actually kind of the practice that we have around here. We'd like to keep our resource.
Right.
Our resource.
Right. True.
You can't. You got to put in some work and
To harvest,
to harvest and to keep the fishery alive.
Very nice.
Right on.
You can't
Pretty
take too
cool.
much.
Not just taking.
You got to manage it. Yeah.
Are you in your 40s?
I am.
And you
I am.
started with Tidewind when you were 14?
Yeah, I was 14 when the original owner, Jim, he, I just went down to the dock and wanted to go fishing, and he was like, he could probably work, that was, yeah.
And you were immediately went out on the boats or cleaning up the boats or cleaning up
everything, just
doing whatever.
Was a deckhand, and then Kyle, the owner.
The now owner?
The now owner, he was even younger, he was, I was like almost 15 and I think he was like 12 or 13 or something,
Yeah.
Oh, so you were there at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
very
Yeah,
cool.
I've known him. I've known Kyle since we were little kids.
Oh,
We've heard
that's so
Jadelyn
cool.
is 21 years old. Yeah.
Right.
Looks like it.
Yeah, I've
So,
heard.
Danny, where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in Brookings, Oregon.
And Brookings.
Right,
A native.
right
How
here.
many? It's rare that we actually talk to people that were born
right.
physically and
A lot
raised.
of some people were born here and they move away and then they come back, right?
Yeah.
Because
So we could eliminate the second question we often ask: it's how long have you lived in this area? Because everybody tells us why they came.
Day one, 43 years.
All right.
So,
What is your title with Tidewind?
I'm pretty much a deckhand, and we just deal with the clients.
And
just
you're
just
the
like
public
captains
relations
do.
guy too, right?
Yeah.
'Cause you're
Oh,
on
well,
the
yeah.
show,
Yeah. Well,
right.
you become a lot of things when you're working on a fishing boat. You're kind of like the village people. Every day you're dressed up like something else. 'Cause, some days you're a mechanic. Some days you're a tuna fisherman. Sometimes you're a crab fisherman. Sometimes you're a,
Wow.
Yeah, tell us.
Sometimes you're a clown, I mean, really.
Oh, like Jackie.
Yeah.
What?
Sometimes you're a clown.
Nobody
Yeah.
loves me anymore.
What?
Somebody loves me anymore.
So tell us in a nutshell what your company, Tidewind Sportfishing, does. What does a charter fishing company do? Tell us all about it.
Well, it's this, Tidewind in particular, has been in operation since 78.
And you guys are located right down at the boardwalk, right?
Yeah, right down to the boardwalk. 47 years it's been sitting there and operating.
Very
And
good. And now, what is the operation? What does it mean?
well, what charter fishing entails, you've got two different classifications of charter fishing. You've got a 6-pack, which is a smaller boat. You can take essentially 6 people on it, And then there's the next scale of charter boat, like we are, and we've got 4 boats, that are in
Different sizes.
in different sizes. Yeah, there's Eli's Tide, which is the flagship, the newest one, and it's a 50-foot boat and
Whoa.
fiberglass, and it
nice.
can, legally, I think we can take 44 people fishing on it.
Wow.
But this is Oregon, not California, so we don't pack the people on there like that. You got 6 feet between you.
Nice.
You're not getting tangled up. It's just a way better experience.
Right.
Right.
But in total, with all 4 boats, we take about 70 people in a day.
And you have,
Wow.
you go out for several hours, come back in and take another group out. Is that what you're doing?
Sometimes we do we do a second trip during the day, like if it's weather dependent.
Oh,
we
I
got
see.
enough people.
Yeah.
But generally, now that we got 4 boats,
I
we
see.
can pretty much do it all in the morning. Everyone leaves, and
So it's a morning usually. Yeah, that's right. My
Yeah,
experience has
yeah.
been you get up real early and you go out.
Yeah, you show up 45 minutes before the sun comes up, and check into the office, get everything ready, and then once it's daylight, we go fishing, and we're in by noon.
So you have different fish that you can go out and catch, right?
Yeah, we got there's quite the variety actually.
Right. We
And
are
that means
a
several-
real abundant area for
Yeah.
fish.
And
Right?
so that means different ways out, as far you can go out, right? Certain fish are at a certain distance, or they're all anywhere.
Essentially, we fish from 50 feet of depth out to 150 feet. And pretty much all the fish that are on the docket live in that
Yeah.
zone, And so it's really a mixed bag. I mean, which is kind of the whole fun of like charter fishing like this. You never know exactly what you're going to catch.
Oh, so you're going out to catch whatever, not, okay,
Yeah.
we're going albacore to fish.
Because in the rockfish grounds. If we're going out for a totally different species
I
outside
see.
of the rockfish, then it's a whole different program. But
So the rockfish are not that deep.
I mean, they live in the anywhere from 1 foot of water out to 1,000 feet of water.
But they're on the ground, right? They're
They're
on
on
the
the
ground.
They get suspended in the water column. They're all over. But the
Yeah.
We're not fishermen, apparently.
Yeah, we're not fishing.
but mainly like we're allowed 5 black rockfish, which are the most common rockfish.
Per
They're,
person.
and they're pretty big. They're
Yeah, yeah.
I'm holding my arms apart like 25 inches, 20 inches.
Yeah, anywhere from we don't keep the little tiny ones, but stuff that's gonna make like
a foot or two.
yeah, I'd like to call them like a 4-fish taco.
And they have a lot of spines. on them,
like
do they not? Aren't
what's
they?
that?
Don't they have a lot of spines on them? Those kind of fish.
Yeah, they do have spines on them. Yeah, they do. And there's a little mild neurotoxin that's in each one. But
Wait, what?
yeah.
Doctor here, she loves it.
If you get poked really good, it you'll know it.
Oh, the spines are filled with neurotoxin?
Yes.
You wear those gloves that are like made out of Kevlar.
No, you just end up having your hands look like hamburger at the end of the season,
Man.
But you get used to it. And there's actually, fun fact, there's the anti-venom for the neurotoxin is inside their eyeball.
What?
And so,
Whoa.
and so you can cut the inside of the eyeball open, and then stick it on there. And
Have you done that?
Yeah. I mean, it actually does like neutralize it.
Poor fish, goes blind
It's
after
dead.
it. Yeah, it's dead anyway.
Well,
right?
it's already a tough.
What a
Oh my gosh.
So rockfish
Yeah.
are one. Tell us.
The tuna
Well,
fish you can go.
Well, tuna fishing is an entirely different thing. They're
That's a
they're a
seasonal.
pelagic offshore fish.
a pelagic.
Yeah.
A
What
pelagic,
means?
I like
Well, they're they travel, and they're actually a warm-blooded fish,
Huh.
as opposed to a rockfish that stays at the temperature of the water. An albacore tuna, like when they feed, they heat up, then they have to go down. They're built totally different. They have loins instead of fillets.
Huh.
They travel. The tuna we catch
Interesting,
go to Japan and come all the way back here, and we harvest them when they're on this side of the Pacific.
Dang, we get
So
a
it's,
biology
And
lesson.
it's
This is
seasonal,
really
right?
cool.
No, those are seasonal.
Those are very seasonal. Yeah.
And when's the season for tuna?
Whenever there's tuna.
Okay, so it could.
So
be,
it depends on the
change.
water
It's not like
temperature?
March
And
1st
like-
they arrive and
No, right. Yeah, you just got to keep an eye on the water, and you got to go test it and this and that. And the last couple of years, we got really lucky. You know, Kyle's on top of all that to the maximum, and we did very well on the tuna the last couple of years. So
Wow.
Yeah.
So when somebody wants to go tuna fishing, do you give them a time or a date, or do you say, well, we'll call you back when we know they're around? Or-
Yeah. We've got a list that's usually like 200 people strong that want to go, and they're from all over the country.
Wow.
And so we get a little window, and we think we can do it, and we give people a call that want to come do it. You know, and that's a little more spendy of a trip
Right.
than our rock.
You got to go pretty far out.
Yeah, like we were fishing around 50 miles offshore last year.
Whoa.
So
This is rough. We're both, Doctor and I are both going, whoa. We have we're thinking, and you're just down here underneath the pier.
Yeah,
We're catching 1-inch crabs.
no, but for the most part, it's all
inch would be big.
it's all rockfish. And so like the Point St. George from here is
Eight.
a 10-mile
10,
run,
yeah.
run, you know, and
Right.
and then Mac Arch is, you know, like a 12
Mac arches.
Macklin Arch. Yeah, it's a really cool geological oddity that's north of us, and it's got a really good reef system, and it's really productive and beautiful to look at. Yeah.
Wow.
Dang.
How cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
none of that stuff I've heard.
And that's
before.
actually
very
like
cool.
That's on our local trip that we charge $135 for.
Is it to sightseeing, like the sightseeing or local trip?
Well, it's a fishing.
Oh, it's a
trip.
fisherman.
Yeah,
Okay, still. Okay.
like a rock fishing trip.
I see.
And but I mean, there's plenty of sightseeing.
Yeah.
That's cool. And, and I was going
Orcas,
to ask you
we see
that question,
whales,
the
you know.
price on that, but 135, that's super reasonable. And that it starts in the morning, that's 3, 4, or 5 hours, anywhere,
Yeah,
somewhere.
and you're in by noon. You leave at daylight, and you're in by noon. And we fillet all the fish for you, bag it up, which is like you go anywhere in California, they charge you to cut the fish, and then you have to like sometimes buy the fish
man.
back. And we've you know, we're the only charter company on the West Coast that's kept it old school like it always used
Yeah.
to be. You know,
Yeah, cool.
So
So when is your height of your season?
Yeah, when does the season start? Or when do you guys start getting busy?
well, in California is not open till May 1st.
For any kind of commercial fishing?
Yeah, right.
Really?
right.
I
Yep.
did not know that.
And Oregon's open year round, but you know, a lot of us commercial crab fish and everything, so we wait for that to get done. And there's a lot of like breeding females out there, like prior to March.
This is
and everything
Dungeness
like that.
crabs, yes.
What's that?
Dungeness crabs?
Well, I just mean for the rockfish,
Okay.
like the lingcod and the stuff that we generally catch.
Okay.
If you catch them in the winter, you can catch a lot of breeding females, and we don't partake in that. You know, we like to fish once they've
So they look
bred.
different.
Sure, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
that's good for you.
and then
That's responsible.
and you know, we usually start around now for fishing locally.
No,
as
you
far as
go
Oregon,
7 days a week you're open, or do you have?
we're open. Well, Jadlyn on the phone, she is like 24/7.
Yeah, we
I mean,
called
she
her.
takes
She
phone
was
calls.
so nice.
She's 24?
She
I thought
takes-
she's 21.
24 hours a day.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
She looks 21.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
not
she
gonna-
was nice. We called her and she called back.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, she's on top of it.
So,
Yeah,
but you
that's-
start officially your business. Tidewind opens up on March 1st. Coming.
Well, I mean, that's about when we're going to be opened up. Yeah, we kind of wait for everything to, you know, the weather to calm down and the you know, fish to spawn, do everything like that, and we'll we'll get weekend trips coming up. Not a lot of people really want to go fishing at this time of year during the week, but if they want to, we'll take them.
We'll-
Well, now that
We'll take
it's
'em.
longer light, once the time change has started, I guess, do you do evening trips? Or mostly, it's usually morning?
Rarely, just because
Slumber parties, things like that.
well, on the tuna fishing we do. On the tuna fishing we do. Yeah, we do some overnight ones. It's real fun. Yeah.
Oh.
But as far as like the standard weather pattern here, it's nice in the morning. It blows northwest in the
Then it
afternoon.
gets so windy in the afternoon.
And you don't want to go fishing when
Oh,
it's like
I
that.
see.
So we always try to hit that good window, so
Hey, what's the ugliest fish out there? I was talking about halibut. Aren't halibuts with two eyes on the same
there is
side?
no such thing as an gray fish.
Good answer, man.
Well, I mean,
That's my
I
kinda
love-
guy.
They are beautiful, every one of them.
Yeah.
They really are.
Strange, though.
They
Okay,
really
this-
are.
They just showed on the
strangest-
news, they showed the anglerfish. That's a pretty ugly fish. But
That's a pretty ugly
Oh, is that
one.
thing hangs
That's
over its
Yeah.
head like a
But
dangling
I
carrot?
mean, it's like one of those face only a mother could love type of thing, and or a family member. And I mean, I think they're all beautiful personally. But
All right,
yeah.
right on.
Yeah.
Are there any times when all four boats are out, or is it? And Kyle is the captain, right? He's the captain.
He's the captain of the Eli's Tide, yeah. And then we've got a
big boy.
We got 3 other boats, and they're the Superstar is a 43-foot. And we got Dylan that captains that, and then we've got the Bottom Line, and it's a 36-foot boat. And we got Frankie that runs that, and then we got the Tidewind boat, the flagship of the whole fleet, with Justice driving that, and it's also a 36-foot boat.
Wow, this is a big
Which
operation.
It is.
You guys are-
It's grown. Kyle is the absolute hardest working and most knowledgeable. Person when it comes to charter fishing.
Can't wait to
It's
meet everybody.
Yeah, you got to come out.
You're right on the boardwalk, right? So you're in harbor at the
Yeah.
boardwalk, right where the Bodacious Bazaar has their weekly festivals, right where the Pirate Festival, all the Bigfoot Festival. You were right there, center front, right next to that. What's the restaurant? The clam, the Hungry Clam, or
Yeah, I got Hungry Clam on one side and then Zola's on the other. Yeah.
oh,
yeah.
yeah, Zola's down a ways a bit, but then also this cop shop is right next to you, right? The sheriffs maintain a little office there.
It's in there. Yeah,
And that's
the,
right.
the annex
Tradewind.
station. Yeah.
I've been in Tidewind, not Tradewind, Tidewind, and I have seen it. A nice looking shop. Wow, I didn't know you guys had that many.
Yeah, and if you know anything about boats, it is. I mean, you think it's just honky dory. We got 4 boats, but Kyle and all these guys that run these boats and us, like it's every single day he's down there fixing things, making it right, making it safe. I mean, he's over the top with safety.
Yeah, very
and
important.
You go look at everything he's got, and we did the life rafts today on the boats, because you got to
Those boats can be a couple $100 each too.
The life rafts. Oh well.
Guys, sorry, I'm the jokester.
Okay.
Yeah, I come. $250. I'll auction off. Okay, what do you got? We got 1 more minute.
Well, yeah, we have only 1 more minute. So can you tell us in 1 minute what the people who go fishing need to bring?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we supply all the gear. We got all the rods, reels, lures, everything like that. If you want to bring your own rod, you can. I'd suggest bringing a cooler with water and maybe some snacks and beer if you want it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, they can drink?
Yeah.
You can drink.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you have to wear life jackets?
You don't have to wear a life jacket all the time. The rails are real high and everything, and you're not pulling fish over. We do everything for you. I mean, you're dropping it down and you're hooking it, you're fighting it, but then once it comes over, it gets a little dangerous to pull fish over. So we're right there and pull them up, get it off
Kyle
the hook, drop it.
and Dylan or Justin, these other guys, they're all looking at the underwater map stuff. You guys see density of fish?
All these guys that have fished with Kyle, they've been doing it forever. Justice has been doing it since he was.
Well, you've been doing it since you were 14.
Well, same with Justice. He was 14, I think, when we first hired him, and he runs a boat now, and they're all
Is there a weight minimum that you have to be to go there? Not that
on
you-
the boats.
on the boat. So if you reel up something, you would get.
Oh no! We have kids that are.
Oh, yeah?
We have people that are 90 years old that weigh 90 pounds and kids and everything. So
Dang.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
we got to stop here because time flies when you're having fun. It's already that mid-break time here on the Doc and Jacques live radio show, proudly broadcasting from the KCIW 100.7 FM studios in lovely coastal Brookings, Oregon. The list of major sponsors for this community radio station are Advanced Airlines, flying in and out of nearby Crescent City to Oakland and L.A. 7 days a week. Marie and Brett Curtis, our next-door neighbors here at the studio at Remax Coast and Country Realty. We got Dr. John Kirk, your colleague here. Yeah. Dr. Kirk and GiGi work together at Porta Pints Craft Brewery. You don't work there.
We'll work at Porta.
You don't work Porta Pints, but Doc owns that. Dr. Kirk. They actually have 2 locations now in Crescent City. We've got Michelle Bupert, our friend, right? Local Curry County Chamber of Commerce, one that runs the show there. Everybody's friend, Doc Jim Bellardi, and Crescent Land Title and Escrow Company. Dan and Phyllis Schmidt, thank you for your constant friendly support. Also, the Crescent Harbor Art Gallery in Crescent City is anchored in the harbor right next to the boats. And our region's only bowling center, Tsunami Lanes on 101 in Midtown Crescent City. Nick and Lisa Rail, thanks to you for bringing to our region a $50 million event center, soon to be known as PPA, or Partnership for the Performing Arts. We've also got the medical team of Dr. J, Dr. Pollack, and Ruchita Patel at Shedco Medical and Aesthetics in Harbor. And lastly, my dear co-host, Dr. GiGi Reed, MD, and yours truly, Jacques Kepner, on behalf of KCIW, thanks to all of you. We are joined in the studio here on this wonderful day with a fisherman. Danny Gardner is in the studio representing Tidewind Sportfishing. Wow, we have just learned so much in the past half hour. We've got another 20, 25 minutes to talk to you. And we were at a point where you don't have to wear a life jacket. Okay, I'm glad of that because I don't really like to have life jackets on. You've talked about some of the fish you catch. You've told us that there's no such thing as an ugly fish. I think a halibut has to be looking weird, though, with 2 eyeballs on the same side of its head.
So what do you think is the strangest
Not in a frying pan.
What is the strangest thing you have ever caught? Like a boot?
The strangest thing I've ever caught. We do catch... we catch every now and then. We catch a handful of tiger rockfish, and they guess how a tiger rockfish tastes.
Like tiger.
Chicken.
Great. Tony the Tiger.
That's right. No, but they are really beautiful. They've got these big stripes on them, and they've got like lips on them that are very subtle. Like most fish lips are hard. These have very like Botox lips on them. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really, Botox fish?
I mean,
we got to remember.
Really
Did you hear that, Dr. Patel?
Do you see whales and sharks?
Yeah, whales. Let's go down the list.
I guess you
see whales.
Fishing.
Yeah. You see every kind of whale there is. I mean, not necessarily a blue whale, but we get the grays and the humpbacks and everything like that. And we've seen recently we've seen pods of like the gray-sided dolphins. There'll be a pod of 200 of them just moving
dolphins
through.
Here up here.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Cool. Is that abnormal or is that normal?
It's kind of abnormal. We hadn't seen that in a long time, and then we had 2 years in a row where you always see those offshore, but we saw them right on shore, and it just depends on where the food is.
I see.
How about jaws? You've seen sharks.
We have seen sharks.
Do you ever catch one?
We've caught sharks.
You have to release them?
It depends on what kind of shark it is. Like a thresher shark. They're very abundant, and you can keep those, and they're good to eat.
Yeah, they're sharks are my favorite.
Well,
fish.
there's some sharks that are like blue sharks, and they micturate inside of their skin.
Wait a minute, they do what?
They pee.
They micturate.
Micturate, they pee. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you have to purge them really well if you do want to eat them, but I'd advise against it.
Yeah, okay, we'll skip that. How about octopus?
Yeah, we catch both the red octopus, which are smaller ones that are,
you catch them with a line?
Yeah, every now and then they're hungry too, and they grab a leadfish, or you just hook them, or you got a fish on, and it grabs the fish that you have on, and then you bring it up. But sometimes we catch some really big giant Pacifics, that are up to 40 pounds.
Whoa. Are those can you keep those for consumption?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
How about squid, giant squid, anything like that?
That's around here. That's usually an offshore
pretty
fishery in a way. The Humboldt squid, yeah, we'll catch them in the tuna grounds, but not really an onshore thing here.
Last thing but not least, mermaids.
Mermaids.
You know,
He's actually looking
At
at us
the-
going, should I tell him or not?
after like month 3 of the season going, sometimes you'll see a sea lion on a rock and you'll think you'll take a second look. You'll take a second look, but no real mermaids, I don't think. Right.
I don't think. All right, now, do you have? Wait, do you?
I'm trying to say, let's get to the point. Let's talk St. George Reef.
Okay,
right? I mean,
is that
that's
where you? Oh, okay, yeah. So St.
tell
George
us
Reef is
about-
on your website, and it says all trips. And I was thinking, you're going to St. George, the
Reef. We've had John Zimmerman, who's listening today. Hey, John.
Right.
Big shout out to him. He's the president of the St. George Reef Preservation Society. He's a good partner here with KCIW. And he has told us phenomenal stories about that.
about the
You have
lighthouse
grown up,
trees.
though, going out there.
Yeah.
And it's a wink, wink. You've never been on there. You never. Can you?
No, I've never actually.
Okay. It's
gone on.
hard to moor in a boat or.
Yeah, it's extremely dangerous. I mean, you look at when they built that thing, how strenuous.
He's told us amazing stories.
There's a lot of wild stories about that place being built.
Yeah.
Right, and it's just sticking out there on. Is it called Dragon Reef? Is that where?
It's Dragon Reef. Yeah, it's So there's like Northwest Seal and Seal Rock, and then a couple other ones that come up to the water. But the whole system itself is called Dragon Reef, and it's actually the rim of an ancient super volcano.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Ancient extinct volcano,
Yeah.
or maybe we don't know. Maybe it's not extinct.
Well,
so.
I mean, you never know.
So, and then you're saying it is. So, do you take trips out there to just show from a distance, the life there? That there's a lot of fish and mammals and whatnot. Can you take trips? So, when you go out, you say, "This is St. George Lighthouse Reef" or whatever. Do you do that, or is it just on the trip? By the way, that's the lighthouse.
well, I mean, there are people that have booked trips that just want to go out and see. the
Oh,
lighthouse.
okay.
I mean, but generally it's just for fishing, and there's some marine protection areas
Yeah.
that are from the lighthouse, like offshore, and there's a big piece of it that we can't fish,
Right.
but we can fish on the inside of it, and so sometimes there's fish right there, close to it, and so you're looking at the lighthouse while you're fishing and everything.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's always just right there, though.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
So
very,
cool.
very.
We see it whenever we drive up here. It's like, oh, you
Yeah,
can see
it is.
Look,
Okay, now
looks
that's
so
in
close.
California waters, technically, right?
Yes.
So you're not, but you go down there. You don't have to go fishing, but you could just take tours of.
Yeah, but I mean, we take people fishing. That's what we do. That's what
is
we're
there
the best at.
prolific life around? A lot of sea life.
It's
around there?
it's unbelievable out there. I mean,
Really?
it's the reef is just so abundant.
Just full of fish.
full of fish. I mean, they're not. You don't always catch them right away. Sometimes you got to go look for them because it just depends on where the food is, really. But for the most part, it is an unbelievable reef. I dove out there a couple times, and it looks like the barrier reef or any other reef that you'd think was just.
What is the difference between California and Oregon fishing besides the starting date of when you can fish?
Well, the cost. It's for our long range, that's only the lighthouse. It's $190 to go out there to fish, and you got to buy a California license. A one day.
How far,
Which
how
it's
far
not
out?
that. It's
How
not
far
that.
out is the California? I mean, how far out does the state own the waters?
It's like basically the Winchuck River, and then just.
I mean, how far out? So St.
Oh,
George is
200 miles is
200 miles
is our
out?
is our border.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
the
technically.
state owns that much out?
Federal government border is the United States ends.
No, but I
200
mean,
miles.
you say it's California, right?
Oh.
So how far out does California's?
Well,
Water
it's
still.
I want to say it's like 20 miles or something like that.
Okay.
Then its jurisdiction becomes a federal thing, and then it goes out even further than that. But
Now we were thinking today when we drove up, is the boat at all affected by the tides? Meaning how far you can go out, how deep you can fish, because it only goes up. The water really only goes up 8 feet at the most.
it doesn't
right?
affect us.
It doesn't matter at all.
You're not affected by the tides. Okay.
Not really. I mean,
Very.
not really.
How about the state game, fishing game? How about Coast Guard? We have a Coast Guard here that's closed down in Crescent City. Do you have a good working relationship with Coast
yeah,
Guard?
of course. Yeah. I mean, we're always on time with our do's and don'ts and our checklists and everything like that, and they don't hassle us at all, I mean, we comply.
Right on.
Comply.
What kind of weather will you not go out?
Just anything that's unsafe, really. I mean, it depends on, it depends on a lot of factors, where we're going, what we're trying to catch. If we got a short trip and it's going to get windy early, we can go fishing right in front of Brookings and catch our limit and everything like that. And, if you're in town for one day and that's it, and it's still going to be rough, we're just going to let you know, hey, it's going to be a little rough, but we still always catch limits, so.
You did say before the show that usually you get to the limit, right? I mean, you don't come
very
home.
rarely do we not,
Wow.
So there's not much striking out.
Not
You're
much.
saying
Not with us, no.
Wow. And that's just because you guys know the area so well. You know what you're looking for. You have good equipment.
Yep.
Right? All these things
Safe
factor.
equipment. Have you ever rescued other boats or swimmers that went overboard?
There's been 3 incidences that we've rescued other boats. One of them happened this year when we were 50 miles offshore, albacore fishing. Actually, we saw smoke way off on the horizon, and there was a boat that caught fire, and there was 3 guys in the water that it was a.
They lost communication or something? And
They
you
ran
guys
water.
saw
It was so serendipitous. I mean, it was complete miracle that we even saw the smoke.
Wow.
And we were gonna go offshore and spend the night, and then we got me and Kyle were glassing it. We're looking at it. We're like, hey, we got to go look at that. And sure enough, we showed up, and probably within 15 minutes of there being
Or were they wearing the suits, the protective suits?
They didn't get a chance to do it. The boat was on.
Oh my gosh!
You could feel the flames of the boat like from 60 yards away.
Oh,
it was a fiberglass boat. It was a big boat. It was a 70-foot boat.
Oh my God.
And these guys were in the water, and
There were just
went
3
down.
it was
There were
just
just
it
3
was just
people?
perfect, and we were just on top of it, right place, right time, and when you're on the ocean, it's.
Do they have like those super wetsuits or things you have to wear?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Survival suits. Yep.
Yeah, survival suits. Okay. And how about have seasickness? Talk to us about seasickness. How many people still get seasick? Do a lot of people go out? And I don't. I've never ever.
There's a lot of people that get seasick. Yep.
So the second they get on the boat, they basically.
I wouldn't say a lot,
it's-
but it's.
takes a little while.
And they manifest it by usually vomiting and having.
Yep. And a lot of people take. You can get the Dramamine,
yeah.
and a lot of people just take it right in the morning. But it's a saturation thing. So you actually have to take like 48 hours before you start taking it. You take morning, afternoon, and then it saturates your body.
Oh.
Good.
And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to eat before I go in case I get sick. But that's kind of counter to it. You want to have a decent breakfast. You want to have some food in your stomach.
I have had people who wanted scopolamine patches, the patches against the seasickness, and because they want to go fishing. And I'm saying, why do you go fishing if you get seasick?
It's that much fun.
It is.
It's that much fun.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got a lot of clients that
You still have fun even though
No. They want to go, even if they could get seasick, they want to go fishing because it's so much fun.
Yeah, we call it a puke and rally. I mean, there's guys that just, they just go after it. They love it too much. They get sick every time, and they don't.
Oh my gosh.
They don't care.
Sad.
So they could also go inside, and then they could just
that's
hunker
the
down.
worst thing.
Is
The best thing to do is just keep fishing.
Get outside and look at the horizon. I've always heard you look at
just keep fishing. And a lot of time it's just distraction. Like we have so much fun on these boats.
Yeah.
That people get sick, and then we always have jokes for them. We're always messing around, and they kind of forget that they're sick sometimes, and then they start fishing. And as soon as it gets quiet, then they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm sick." And so we just
right on.
You kind of have
Keep
to
it
keep
going.
them entertained.
What's the biggest fish you've ever caught personally? Or been
Been part of? catching?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. We've caught some halibut on the charter boats before.
The one that
some decent ones, some like 50-pound halibut on just rock fishing gear, which is really rare, but it happens. We usually catch 2-3 a year, maybe something like that.
Interesting.
Now, do you sell it then if you go by yourself, or is it?
No. If whatever client copped that, that's what you keep.
Oh, yeah, if you have. You don't go out by yourself just for giggles on your own trip.
I mean, well, I do on my paddleboard and stuff, but I mean,
Hey, how about the salmon? How about the salmon harvest here? As everyone knows, at the Chetco River during fall, when you go down there, there's not 500, but
there was a lot.
There's 50 boats. Are you part of any of those boats? There's usually one or two bigger boats that's full around it.
Yeah, we do take clients on the ocean salmon fishing, but when it comes to they call it like a bubble fishery. That's right there in the mouth of the Chetco. We don't take part in that. That's just you can have
or the
that,
road rivers even worse.
Yeah, we don't do that. Our boats are ocean going boats. We don't.
Wow.
Okay, we've got about 10 minutes to talk with you. I there's so many questions we still have. The special equipment, everything is taken care of.
Yep.
Tidewind is going to provide lock, stock, barrel. Yep. I don't have to bring a jacket or a couple.
Yep.
Hopefully it's a nice day. We could check ahead of time. How do you take reservations? Have they got a website?
Yep.
We talked about it. What is a website?
It's a Tidewind Sportfishing.
Tidewind Sportfishing?
Yep.
Sportfishing.com.
Phone number's 469.
Okay, hold on.
You writing this down?
We're going to write this down because we'll say it again. 469.
0337.
0337.
Yep.
And that's area code 541.
Yep.
541 469 0337.
Yeah.
You've been in business for 47 years.
Yep.
Jadlyn is so nice on the phone and heard great things about Kyle. And now we meet you, Danny Gardner here. And it just sounds like almost a fantasy. Can you think of anything much more a life well lived than what you?
Oh, it's so much fun. I mean, especially like with the clients, not just like the guys we work with, but we have all these return clients, and it's just Kyle's
I was just going to say, so you have return
he's just built this
clients.
family of people that come from the valley, come from Klamath Falls, Redding, come up every year. They take, if you got a big business and they want to go on a fun trip, you
could charter the whole boat, so you can get up to 50 people on your biggest boat.
Well, not 50.
Okay,
but we can, if you're renting the whole boat and you got a group of 30 or something, we'll pack you in because people.
Right.
Because sometimes you got random people. It's nice to have room between you. I mean, it's
yes, right.
Now, what do you do in your off season?
Most of us go crabbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paddleboarding, you just go out there.
During just like commercial crabbing is usually usually the wintertime.
I want crab. We knew a couple fishermen in Crest City that would supply us with crabs because we've never had good luck. You have the big professional, big round Dungeness crab nets. That's what your drop bar cages, they call them.
For the commercial fishing. Yeah. But we also provide, I believe it's $35. You can come rock fishing with us, and then we drop pots in the morning.
Smart.
And we fish until about noon or whatever. And on the way in, we pull them, and then people who have their crab tag and everything like that can get what we harvest.
So we need a crab.
Limit,
okay, let's talk about licensing. In Oregon, you need a fishing license. So. Okay, Doctor and I are going to come on one of your boats. That we first have to go out and get that, or do you guys supply all that?
Jadlyn does all that in the office. You can also go online and you just buy a 1 day. That's what most people do. Is they just buy a 1 day tag. I think it's $12 or $14. And then you're just able to fish that 1 day.
So we have to show that tag, or
well, you have to purchase it. I mean.
We can do it in the office too, either way.
You can do it in the office, yep.
Okay.
All right, so we got that, and then we go out, and if we want to drop some crab nets or pots on our way out, that's an additional $35 or something like that, and then it's pretty much guaranteed when we come back we'll get some big mail.
Well, we are talking about fishing, so there's no G words, there's no guarantees.
Right.
But we're not going to.
I like it.
We're not going to go set those traps unless we know that it's going to be fun for worth it.
And what's the limit now?
It's 12 a person actually.
12 crabs?
You could have so much fun.
Yeah, a dozen crab.
So now I forgot my question.
Okay. Well, the crab, we used to catch them all the time, and I could gut a crab in literally 30 seconds. It's done. There's a ways to.
I remember my question. So people who go out who just want to be out and fishing for the first time, are there people who have never fished in their life before and they just want to see it, or are they
All the
usually?
time.
Yeah.
All the time. You'd be surprised how many people we get that come from Missouri.
Hey.
And then they show up on the boat in the morning, and none of them have ever seen the ocean.
Oh my God.
How
And so then they're on the boat just wondering, like, waiting for the sun to come up, like, where's the ocean?
Wow.
And then we get to show that to a whole family, you know.
Oh,
Quite
wow.
often, you know, people from Utah, Missouri, all over,
Hey,
you know.
that's so where you say Utah, Missouri. She's from, spent a lot of time in Utah, and I've had a home in Missouri for a long time. My folks are from Missouri. Wow, what a trip.
What are you going to think you're going to do in 2 to 5
Yeah,
years?
where are you going to still be with Tidewind?
Tidewind?
In 25 years?
Oh,
And 2 to 5.
Yeah, how
Oh,
about
2 to 5 years.
25.
Oh, 25 years. I mean, yeah. You know, it's a lot of fun. You know,
Yeah.
it's just so much fun. It's not all of us that work there. It's not. I mean, we're professional and everything, but it's what our passion is.
Right.
So
How fun
it's
is
not.
that?
Yeah.
You know, we show up in the morning, maybe like 4:30 in the morning, but we're laughing and joking and always having a good time. I mean, it's
So where are the boats moored? Right there, kind of, let's see. Oh, yeah, they're right there. And there's two different harbors in harbor, right? There's one down by Sport Haven Beach.
Yep.
By the Coast Guard.
Yep.
Now, you're in which one?
right at the boardwalk.
You're right at the boardwalk. See a
Yep.
mountain?
To the left when you're looking out on the water. Yep.
Oh, my.
4 boats are right there on the end of the dock. Yep.
Wow.
You can see them.
And so you just literally walk across the boardwalk, walk down one of those.
Just go to the left.
Are there any yearly inspections or such from some agency?
Oh, the Coast Guard, yeah.
Oh, the Coast Guard inspects you guys?
Yeah.
Like the fish, like how good the boats are, or if
Yeah,
there's...
yeah, all the safety protocol, you know,
Yeah.
we've got quite the list. I mean, like I was saying today, we put the life rafts on,
Yeah.
and they have to be packed professionally. They have to be verified. Like every year, they have to be like gone over. We have to go through all the flares, throw away the expired ones. There's a huge list of things that they require us to do, you know.
Hey, I'll buy your old flares for $1 a piece. How about that?
Well,
Yeah, well, that's always you ever shot off a flare? They're so much fun. Oh, my God.
No?
Yeah, I have.
we dispose of them properly.
No, yeah, I'm sure you do. Yeah, let's go out there and about in the middle of the night have a flare
Let
fight.
him handle it.
Yeah,
It's actually illegal to launch off a flare.
yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Told
yep.
you.
That was...
Yep.
I'm buying some.
Because the Coast Guard's going to show up.
Yeah.
And then they're
Oh,
they're
see
going
it,
to be
right?
mad. They're going to be mad that
Yeah.
that you're
Oh,
just-
yeah, those 3 people that you rescued, they didn't have a flare or
But they didn't have
anything?
time or something.
they the boat blew up and they were in the water. So it
So they didn't have time
they
to
didn't
look
have
for the
time for anything, you know. So yeah.
What is the hardest fish to catch? Is there like a hard albacore? That's all line? You don't ever use nets, right?
No.
Nets are illegal, right? Or you can.
Well, no. For sport fishing, you can't. You can catch bait with nets, you know, but the sport fishing, it's hook and line. There's regulations. We can only have, you know, 3 hooks per rig per person. You know, a lead fish, we have a double hook on that, and then a single hook above it with a grub. So you kind of, you know, your chances, you can catch 2 at once. We catch 2 at once all the time. Sometimes we catch 3 at once.
And you do everything the old-fashioned way, right? It's just, like you said, you're not charged, although I guess you'll take tips, right, for cleaning all those fish. So I'm going to walk away.
Yep.
and give you a $2 tip. It's fine. And
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just-
yeah, and then we'll.
I'll give. How about a?
That's how we knew
$20
that.
tip?
That's how we knew that you were from Missouri. Was the
$2 tip.
Was the
yeah.
$2 tip?
I'll give you
for
$2.
the-
I'll give you $1 for the old
Yeah.
players and $2 tips.
Yeah, no,
Flare?
the deckhands and the captains, I mean, essentially, you know, that makes up a good part of our income is tips, and
Right on.
and
Good.
we have a lot of people that are lifelong customers that they, you know, I mean, it's cheaper to go fishing with us. Like we had Ralphie, he's like he went 31 times with us last year.
Wow,
And you
what a
figure,
trip.
you do the math on that,
Whoa.
still way cheaper than buying your own boat.
Wow.
It is.
And
I
eating
mean,
lots of good seafood, right?
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's the other thing too. You know, you look at the market price.
Have you seen a big change in the past in your lifetime on the abundance of fish? Or is it going down? Like no, About the same.
It's
We're
about,
just
it's about the same.
less
No, I
than
mean they quit all the trawling on the reef and everywhere, and you know, in the 70s, and so there's
It replenishes.
it's I mean, yeah, it just depends on, right now we have urchins that are eating a lot of the seaweed. And so some of the onshore fishery is a little sketchy, so.
Folks, we have been talking with Danny Gardner, who's representing Tidewind Sportfishing here in Brookings Harbor. What an amazing, fun conversation we've had from you. Tidewind can be reached at 541-469-0337. And you have a website called Tidewind
Sportfishing.com. Yeah, you can look us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. I don't even think we're on that.
And you get to speak with Jadlyn and Kyle.
Yep.
And maybe one day when we go out, we will, maybe you could be on the same boat. And we'd love to take maybe the tour, the one that goes up the...
Yeah, the local tour. Is that what you call it?
Or maybe go out to the reef.
Oh, you got to go out to the reef.
Yeah.
It's awesome out there. There's so much life. So.
All right. Well, thank you again.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for coming in.
Appreciate it.
We didn't even ask all the questions that we have, so...
It's okay. Hey, Doc, what do we got? Some quotes and jokes?
Yes, we have Fun Time Corner.
Hey, what does a ghost call his mother and father?
What?
Transparents. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom?
Why?
Because the P is silent. Pterodactyl, you get it? That's her laughing, folks. That's why you can't hear a pterodactyl. Okay, she's easy to laugh. Okay, give us a couple of quotes.
Oh my gosh, I haven't read the jokes before. They were funny. Okay, my quotes are boring. Drinking water is essential to a healthy lifestyle. So the cool thing is, it's Stephen Curry who said that.
Stephen Curry, Stephen Curry? Stephen
Curry.
Yeah.
Drinking water is essential to a healthy lifestyle.
Whoa, where are unhappy things made?
To where?
In a satisfactory.
Oh.
Sad. Okay. Hey, how do you drown a hippie? Throw him into the mainstream. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Okay.
Okay.
This is the most known one. You can lead a horse to water, but a pencil must be lead.
Okay, actually, that one's pretty cute.
Yeah, it's from Stan Laurel. My dad loved to watch
Stan Laurel.
Dick and Doof. They were called in Germany, and he laughed and he laughed. It was the quiet movies thing he saw.
Hey, I tried to sue this airline for losing my luggage. I lost my case.
Didn't listen to my story, so I'm not laughing that much anymore.
Okay. Give us another one.
My fake plants died because I did not pretend to water them.
Now that one, I kind of like my fake plant. That's something I do. Why do nurses carry red pens at work, doctor?
Why?
In case they have to draw blood.
Yeah, funny jokes today.
Yeah. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Tank.
Tank who?
You're welcome.
All right. Got it. Thousands have lived without love, not one without water.
This is true.
Right?
Very true. What do you call a karate pig? A pork chop. So dumb.
Okay. Nothing is softer or more flexible than water, yet nothing can resist it.
Pretty good.
Right?
Pretty good.
Okay,
Why do French
jokes.
people eat snails? Why do they eat snails?
Why?
Because they hate fast food.
Okay.
I think we are about that point, right?
Wait, do you not have another joke?
Yeah, I do. Okay. Why do we always tell actors to break a leg?
Why?
Because every play has a cast.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. What do you say to a pirate on his 80th birthday?
Arr.
Aye, matey. I'm 80.
I'm 80?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, very funny. All right. Well, okay. Let's be done with it. We're at the end of our show with Danny of Tidewind Sportfishing.
Danny Gardner. Hey, you've been
Very
super
cool.
guest. Super guest.
You have been listening to Doc and Jacques on KCIW 100.7 FM in Brookings, Oregon. And we hope you have enjoyed our show as much as we have.
Am I supposed to say, we want to thank Tom Bozak for his engineering wizardry in the KCIW studio. And listen, if you know of a fascinating local character, then please let us know, and you could be on this show. You go to
Jacques Kepner.
how about Doc and Jacques at gmail.com.
Oh, yeah, you should do that. docandjacques@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Or Gmail.
Gmail and Gmail.
Yeah,
Doc and Jacques at Gmail.
You're right.
Okay, folks, thank you so much. Peace. I love you. Next week, Tony Dorso is on the air talking it up. Tony Dorso. Yeah, listen to him right now.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.